is Stephanie. I'm a massive fan of film and music, and I'm also a massive collector. And today I wanted to talk about all of the movies that I watched in April this year. Here I have written down all of the movies that I watched in April. I watched 14 all up, 9 of them I hadn't seen before, and 2 of them I saw in the cinema. So the first movie that I watched in April was Rush Hour. And while we're at it, we'll talk about the second movie that I watched in April, which was Rush Hour 2, because I watched them one after the other, which was lots of fun. The Rush Hour movies have always been like in my life, but I'd never sat down to watch them. There's references like all the time, and I've seen things online and random scenes on TV, but never like sat down and actually watched them. And they're fantastic. They're lots of fun. I loved the action, and seeing Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan together was so much fun. I knew that it would be so much fun to watch them play off each other, but actually sitting and watching, at least in those 2 movies, is such a joy. It really is. The third movie I watched in April was One from the Heart, which is a Francis Ford Coppola movie from 1982. This movie was visually stunning. It was so colorful and so beautiful to just look at. It feels like one of those movies you could just like put on and just mute and like have it play in the background somewhere, and then your eyes would just always find the screen. It was so pretty and so smooth in the way everything was done. It was pretty fantastic. I was really impressed with this movie, and it's kind of underrated and understated considering the other films that Francis Ford Coppola has done. I mean, if you look at that filmography, it's pretty full of fantastic films. I would love to see this movie get more attention because it's honestly up there as one of my favorites of his that I've seen so far. Number 4 is Billy Madison, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a comfort watch for me. I've seen it many times ever since I was a kid, and I could quote it all day. I quote it pretty much every day. I love Adam Sandler movies. I love 90s movies, and I love everything about this movie. Literally everything from top to bottom. I think it is a perfect film. Number 5 was a new watch. I bought this when it came out in February, and then I finally watched it in April. I watched it on a Saturday night. I made sure of that, and I watched it really late too, which really added to the vibe of like Saturday Night Live. I love SNL. I'm a massive fan of that whole show as an institution. I'm so intrigued by its place in pop culture and all of the cast members and how the show works and how it's changed over time, like from the beginning of the show to how it is now. I'm always looking and seeing what's going on and love rewatching sketches and everything in between. This is so fun. It is done in real time, which really adds to it and makes you feel the pressure of the show. Obviously, we know that the show ends up being a success, but pretty much it follows the first taping of SNL and live TV, which of course is extremely stressful. But in this case, it's also extremely fun. The 6th movie that I watched in April was Empire Records. I didn't watch it with my copy. I went and saw it at the cinema on the 8th of April, which is Rex Manning Day, and it is the day that Empire Records is set. Because if you haven't seen it, it pretty much follows a day in the life of the record store. And it is set on the 8th of April, and that was so fun that day. Like everything else that happened in my life regarding that, and then going and seeing it, it was perfect. It was so much fun. The 7th movie that I watched in April was Bohemian Rhapsody, which was a rewatch, but I hadn't seen it in like the last like 4 to 5 years. I remember seeing this trailer every time I went and saw A Star Is Born. When I saw A Star Is Born 13 times in the cinema in 2018 when it came out, and I remember seeing this movie at least 5 or 6 times, I think, and I saw it the day it came out, and it was so much fun then. It's so much fun now. The performance by Rami Malek is amazing, and this soundtrack is fantastic, and of course, who doesn't love Queen's music, and I love a music movie anytime, any day. Number 8 is a new one, and that is Peeping Tom. I was first introduced to Peeping Tom when I went to see the first screening of Last Night in Soho that was ever being shown in Australia when it came out in 2021. Right before the movie, the cinema played old trailers, which was always super fun. I love when that happens. And one of them was for Peeping Tom, and I remember being really intrigued by the trailer, and like old trailers are so cool and creepy, and like when it's these sorts of movies. And I remember reading up on Peeping Tom at another point in time and reading that it's one of the first slasher movies, if not the first. And so I've always been intrigued. Then I bought it in like February, and I finally watched it in April. And I really enjoyed it. It's really cool. The colors are really pretty. And yeah, it's a really fun and interesting movie. Maybe fun's not the right word. I had fun watching it, and I thought it was really interesting. Number 9 is a rewatch and one of my favorite movies, and that is Jesus Christ Superstar. I always watch Jesus Christ Superstar in April and around Easter. I love this soundtrack, particularly the film soundtrack, like with this cast. I think it's so special, and when I want to get things done, I put it on because it's one of the few things in the world that actually gets me to focus, which is hilarious. I could perform this as a one-woman show. I love it so much. I love this cast in this movie, and I love how freeing and free everything feels from beginning to end. It's such a wonderful watch, and every time I watch it, I feel extremely inspired, and it's heartbreaking and it's beautiful, but there's this... I keep thinking of the word free. There's this like freedom in the air, the way that everyone like dances and is singing, like just like there's so much passion, and I love it. Number 10, we have another classic and another rewatch, and that is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. There's this really lovely nostalgia that comes with this movie. I think for most people that I've spoken to about it, they either talk about how when they were a kid they first watched it and how special it is to them and how it just kind of never gets old. And I feel that I watch it like every Easter Saturday for the chocolate vibes. And there's something especially about like hearing Pure Imagination that with every year and every time that I listen to it, there's just this special and magic quality to that song. And then to the movie overall, it's like a kids movie for adults. It's not dumbed down, and it's not catering to like, oh, kids would be scared of this, let's not do that. Like, we all know how horrifying the boat scene is, and I love how Gene Wilder's character of Willy Wonka doesn't talk to kids like they're little kids or anything. Like, everyone is a person and they're all spoken to in a certain way. I just find the whole thing to be amazing, honestly. Number 11 was a movie I saw at the cinema at a premiere, and that was The Accountant 2. I hadn't seen the first Accountant movie, but now I'm intrigued to because I really enjoyed the second one. I had heard good things about the first one, so I was intrigued by the second one, and I was with a crowd that seemed to really love it. People were laughing and people were enjoying themselves, and you know, there were gasps and things at certain points, and I loved that. I love a crowd that's like fully into what we're watching, and I really enjoyed The Accountant 2, and I'm keen to watch the first one now. Number 12 was a new one as well that I hadn't seen before, and that is The Purple Rose of Cairo. That one I had on my list for a while, and then when I was watching the film Love and Other Catastrophes, I think it was in January or February, some of the characters were talking about their favourite movies within the film, and a couple of them kept mentioning the movie, so I like brought it up in my priority list, and then I watched it last week finally, and I really enjoyed it. There's this surreal quality to it, and it's heartbreaking, and it's about, you know, dreaming and wanting something more, and it's about heartbreak, and it's about, I guess, the pursuit of wanting more in life and being trapped and that feeling of like, you know, just sticking your arm out and like hoping for the best and hoping for more. And we all hope that we all get that rather than not getting that. I don't know if that made any sense, but I really resonated with that movie a lot. I thought it was really special, actually. Number 13 is After Hours, the Martin Scorsese movie, which I've spoken about a lot. I wanted to watch this movie for so long and I couldn't find it anywhere, and then I found it at a movie market in March and then I bought it. And I was so excited, and I finally watched it the other night, like the last Saturday that passed, and I think that was the perfect way to watch it. That late night New York City vibe, and then late night for me watching it. And also something about watching movies from the 80s on Saturday nights is like perfection to me. Like it all fits the same vibe for me. I don't know why, but I love it, and it really added to the atmosphere of this movie. Yeah, I think it's an extremely underrated and understated movie considering Scorsese's filmography. Same as like One from the Heart with Francis Ford Coppola, that, you know, some movies just kind of end up under the radar, but they're worth watching, especially when we have these fantastic filmmakers that it feels like they can kind of do no wrong. This movie, I loved it. I'm so glad that I watched it, and it got me out of my movie watching slump. Number 14, and the final movie that I watched in April this year, was Career Opportunities, which I bought 2 days ago, and I watched it last night, and I really enjoyed it. It's lots of fun. It's just a light movie and with a couple deep conversations within there, which made I was like, yeah, I feel seen. It was lots of fun. Yeah, if you ever want to watch a movie about being stuck in a Target all night, then you should definitely watch this one. So those are all the movies that I watched in April this year. And if you've made it to the end of this video, I hope that you enjoyed it.